What's going on, LF fam? Checking in for another video. As you guys can tell by the title, we're going to be discussing cardio. Just want to give you guys my 2 cents, because there's a lot of misconception going around as far as like cardio, when you throw it in, how you should throw it in. So I figured I'll give you guys my take on that. What I often see a lot of people do is overdo it on cardio. They go in the gym, you know, to get their workout in, or even before their workout, get their cardio. So first thing first is make sure you're working up to a reasonable amount. You know, you don't want to do like an hour every day. Then at that point it becomes, you know, cardiac adaptation, where it just becomes part of your day. Your body doesn't really realize it's burning calories. It's just kind of, don't get me wrong, you are burning calories of course, but it becomes more of like your daily routine as opposed to a method of burning fat. So it just becomes something that your body just naturally knows, okay, we burn this amount every day, etc. So first thing first is make sure you're not being too stagnant with your cardio, not every day. And you'll notice that if you're doing it every day, after a while, you're just not gonna lose any body weight. You're gonna look the same. You're not gonna get any toner, just because, like I said, metabolic adaptation, your body's just gonna get used to that. It's gonna just take that as like normal work in a sense. So make sure you're not doing it so steady in that sense, where like every day you go in, you're doing 30 minutes, your body's gonna get used to that real quick. So first thing first, what I recommend to somebody when they want to start doing cardio, get lean out, is just pick 4 times a week, 4 to 5 times a week depending on the situation, and go for a calorie goal, because that way it gives you room for improvement, right? You can always bring it up a little bit, bring it down depending on where you're at. So say you're not doing no cardio at all and you want to lean out a little bit, start with something like 4 times a week, 150, right? Simple, right? It's nothing crazy, nothing too much. It's something that just gonna put you a little bit more of a deficit, and it's something that is, you know, achievable and maintainable. And then once you do that for like a week or 2, you know, your body starts coming down a little bit, and then you see that you're becoming that maintenance. That's your maintenance now. Then you start increasing it, either another session or just increase the total caloric burned. So instead of 150 4 times a week, you may do 4 times a week 200, and that just keeps you, you know, being able to progressively overload again. You always want to know where you've been, so you know where you're going. That's why I never recommend somebody just do 30-minute sessions every day. Stick with calorie goals, because that way you know where you're at, you know what you're doing, you know where you're going, and you can always gauge it from where it's been. So again, stick with a good amount of set sessions. Of course, you can always work up to, you know, 4 or 5 times a week, but of course don't just start out every day doing that amount, because you'll see that at first you're gonna lose because it's just something new, but after a while it's just gonna, you know, flatline. It's gonna stay the same. So make sure you're always switching it up. Also, another thing I like to do is throw in a HIIT session once or twice a week. HIIT, the great thing about HIIT is that it is sort of like a hypertrophy work, right? You are actually building muscle as you're burning, like sprints, battle ropes, barbell HIIT, the whole 9. So again, make sure to throw one of those in instead of a regular cardio session, just to kind of switch up the metabolism, get your body working a little differently, and just, as bro science sound, like, keep your body guessing a little bit, because if you're doing the same thing every day, it just becomes part of your normal routine. Your body's gonna be like, okay, this is what we do, no problem. We're not gonna tap into our fat sources to get into it. So again, make sure you're strictly with your schedule. Oh, and always do cardio after your workout. As bro science as it sound, again, you want to kind of just warm up a little bit, maybe 5 minutes before, 10 minutes, just get your blood pumping a little bit, and save all your calories burning for after your workout, when you already kind of use your glycogen to push through the workout, to go heavy, to go hard in the gym, and then the rest is just nice and slow and steady burn fat that you have, obviously. So of course it'll come down to macros, being in a deficit for long term. And my whole take is cardio, you always want to do it. It's a tool, so you don't always want to do it, but you want to do it when it fits, when it works for you, and not always. So eventually what I try to do, at least for myself right now, is in the off season work down to minimal cardio, and as my calories go up, I try to bring my cardio down. That way I can kind of raise my metabolism and not need the cardio. So when I want to cut down, I can keep my calories up here and just slowly bring up the cardio, and that's how you build a metabolism. So keeping the cardio at a good amount, and then try to bring it as low as possible in the off season, and then that way when you're trying to cut down, you have a good amount of calories and you can always play with your cardio. So a little, you know, hopefully a little information on cardio. I always see everybody, you know, just going in. I've been seeing people at the cardio for hours every day, And I'm like, at that point your body's just used to it. It's not really gonna tap into fat sources. You're wondering why you do so much cardio, you're not getting toner, you're not losing weight, you're probably feeling tired because you couldn't overtrain and doing cardio. And that's probably the reason why. So stick with a good amount of sessions, maybe 4 times a week. Just commit to that. Commit to 4 times a week. I'm gonna do 150 calories. If you've been doing a lot of cardio already, kind of draw it back and start all over a little bit. Again, track your macros. That's the best way to gauge your intake, your deficit, and keep track of your cardio. Calories over minutes. Always track your calories burned instead of just doing 30 minutes, because one day you'll feel great, you'll freaking burn 600 calories in 30 minutes. The next day you'll feel like crap, burn 200, slugging, going slow as hell. And then there you go, it's not consistent. So if you just stick with 300, 200 a day, 4 to 5 times a week, it's consistent. You know where you've been, you know where you're going, like the old saying goes. So with that being said, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Like, comment, subscribe. Till next time.
Yeah, I gotta get used to that. Remember, if you liked the video, give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed, man, give us a subscribe.